make a narrative as if like I'm scared of. I think Devin's a tremendous fighter. Do I think Devin Haney can beat me? Hell no. Hell no.
Yeah.
For me personally, I'm on a different level than everybody.
Yeah.
And when it comes down to boxing, because Devin, he's a boxer.
It's on him. You know what I mean? It's on him. He knows that he's going to get this fade sooner or later. So it's only a matter of time. Obviously, we can't go down. You know, we can't go down to 135. So, you know, he would have to come up. And, you know, he can get this work anytime. He ready.
I see greatness, man. I see greatness. Shakur practically beat you with one hand, man. That jab, man. Most important hand to have, man. Yeah. And he looked good doing it, sharp. You know what I mean? Distance. He did everything, man.
Reports suggest that Shakur Stevenson is preparing for a major clash against Devin Haney at 140 pounds. He's confidently accepting the rehydration terms without any hesitation. A decision that reflects his strong belief in his own abilities, as he remains convinced that his speed, precision, and overall skill set give him an edge over any opponent placed in front of him in the ring.
These guys, if y'all want me to come to 147, I'm coming in with rehydration clauses. I don't even do that. Yeah. But why am I going up to these guys' weight classes if I'm not planning on...
Devin Haney has made it clear that a matchup with Shakur Stevenson is far from just talk, as he is fully committed to making the fight happen and has shown genuine determination from his side, with no hesitation at all, proving that he truly wants the challenge and is ready to step into the ring.
Still at 135. You can't, you know, say your name without saying Shakur to your female tank, right? It just is what it is. Is that fight going to ever happen? Would it ever happen against you and Shakur?
100%, yeah. I think so. I think it.
You think Shakur will grow into whatever weight you're in?
I mean, all of us is close to the same size. You know, we're all growing together. We're all like, you know, getting bigger. Well, so, and it's only so many guys, like y'all said. It's only so many guys that we could make big money and people want to see the fights. Which, even though I know that they making new guys, it's guys like Kermel, Abdullah, all these guys want to come up too. So eventually they gonna be there too. But yeah, no, I think that a fight with Shakur is very much possible.
Shakur Stevenson has stated that he has no fear of facing Devin Haney, but believes that Haney's team may attempt to twist the situation and portray him as the one avoiding the matchup. A narrative that Stevenson strongly rejects and says does not reflect the truth from his perspective.
Haney.
Okay.
Devin Haney's probably, to me, I don't think it's hit its point yet, but I think in the next year or two, it'll hit a point where it's like the world is gonna demand, you know what I'm saying? I can see the trajectory feels like it could meet like that.
I would love this fight. But look, you gotta watch what you say with like, and this is not even Devin's fault, because Devin is very respectful of my game and I'm respectful of his game. He's a good fighter. But his fans will clip and twist and turn things into something that is not. So I try to be real careful on what I say.
True. This is guy Jay on Twitter. He a big Haney fan. He be always clipping and changing stuff, Jay.
Yeah, they gonna make a narrative as if like I'm scared of. I think Devin's a tremendous fighter. Do I think Devin Haney can beat me?
Shakur Stevenson is confident that he fights on a level above the rest of the division, believing that no opponent has the skills to beat him, and he does not see Devin Haney having the power to score a knockout against him.
He's a fucking stone cold killer who's just gonna go in there and try to knock me the fuck out.
Yeah.
He's gonna try to outbox me. I'm the greatest boxer. How do you... So that's how I feel about the fight.
Yeah.
But it all gotta make sense from a business standpoint. I don't like getting up here and negotiating against myself. And,
for sure.
But for me, I'm willing to
But do you see it as it being that could, you know, like we always said, the Four Kings, even though you wasn't a part of it, the whole plot is like at the end of the road, there's gonna be two guys left standing, and that's the big fight. Do you see that as that's potentially what that could be?
I'm a bad motherfucker.
Devin Haney remains focused on proving himself among the elite, actively pursuing high-profile matchups, including a fight with Shakur Stevenson, as he wants to challenge himself against the best and solidify his position at the top of the sport.
Fights are not possible. Would you be more inclined just to move up to 140?
Yeah, you know, if I can't get those fights next or it doesn't make sense for it to be next, I'll probably go to 140, test it out, see how I feel at the weight at 140, and then when the time is right, then, you know, I'll defend my belt at 135. We'll just see, though. I got to go back and talk with the team and see what makes the most sense. That's
Bill Haney made their position clear. They won't drop in weight or wait around. And anyone who wants to face Devin will have to come up to 140 pounds and meet him there.
Become undisputed, yet they didn't mention the franchise belt, which directly impacted Devin's career early on, right? And it seemed like, I was saying this on my live earlier, you tell me what you think about this, but it seems to me like there's a lot of people that have tried to block y'all ambition, right? Between you signed to the wrong company, you know, Loma not taking the Devin fight, Tio not taking the Devin fight, Rolly saying he just don't want to fight Devin. Do you see that? Like, how do you see that? You know, as far as like, people know you're ambitious, they know you want to be unified, they know you want to be undisputed, so they put all these obstacles up and they make it hard for you to achieve what you're trying to achieve.
Absolutely. I think it's been historic.
He also emphasized that the fight can be made as soon as the opponent is ready to step up and take it.
Keep our composure and our patience and understand that it's part of the process. When you're that good. You know what I mean? We can't say it any other way. You know, they're running out of narratives. You know what I'm saying? And you know, it's what the people want to see. We don't never say, okay, you know, well, this guy has done something wrong or he did bad business. So, you know, we'll never do it. Obviously, you know, when we go through negotiations and we spend time in there, whether it's put something together for Richard Hitchinson, for him to come back later and to say, you know, yeah, I want that fight. Well, when we were trying to make the fight, we couldn't. You didn't want to negotiate. You went somewhere else. When we were negotiating with Shakur Stevenson, instead of him negotiating with us, he said that he's...
Tim Bradley believes Shakur Stevenson has the potential to build an even bigger legacy than Terence Crawford. He clarifies that this isn't meant as a slight toward Crawford, who already ranks among the sport's all-time greats. As a multi-division world champion with a resume that speaks for itself, however, Bradley sees similar traits in Stevenson, noting his natural talent, ring intelligence, and overall skill set, the same qualities that allowed Crawford to dominate for years while also having room to grow even further. According to Bradley, the comparison isn't about chasing the exact same accomplishments, like collecting multiple undisputed titles or moving through numerous weight classes, but about timing and opportunity. He points out that during Crawford's rise, boxing politics often blocked major fights that should have happened. Bradley suggests that if dealmakers had been in place earlier to connect promoters and arrange big matchups, Crawford might have faced fighters like Keith Thurman, Danny Garcia, Errol Spence, and Yordenis Ugas, which could have elevated his profile even more.
Shakur, just like Crawford was with me, Shakur has the ability to pass Terence Crawford. Listen up. Now, not in the sense of becoming three-time undisputed and, you know, going up to, you know, that many weight classes. Not from that standpoint. You know, he already has 4 weight classes. Crawford is a 5-weight division champion. But in a sense of having the opportunities that Crawford didn't have. You know, Crawford would have been even bigger than what he is if the politics didn't play into the sport at the time. And now that, you know, you have guys like Turki Al-Sheikh that are able to bridge that gap between promoters and, you know, make these big...
Because of that, Shakur Stevenson is stepping into a much different landscape. The divisions between 130 and 135 pounds are stacked with elite talent. And more importantly, those fights are realistic to make. This gives him steady access to top-level opponents instead of waiting years for politics to clear the way. There's no shortage of names, with potential matchups including Devin Haney, Lamont Roach, Ashqui Foster, Gary Russell Jr., Dalton Smith, Brian Garcia, and several other strong contenders who could test him at the highest level. Bradley's point is clear. Stevenson not only has the ability to compete with this group, but he also has the tools to beat them. By consistently facing and defeating opponents of that caliber, he can build a resume that strengthens his legacy even further, potentially placing him above Crawford in both impact and accomplishments.
He was around when Crawford was on his climb. You know, when Crawford couldn't get those big fights with like Thurman and Danny Garcia and Ugas, and, you know, he got it later with Sean Porter, but it was later. But imagine if Crawford was able to have that run and, you know, Earl Spence, Danny Garcia, Ugas, Keith Thurman, you know, the list goes on. If he would have had all those guys on his ledger, imagine how big Crawford would be. He would be even bigger than what he is today. You know, bigger than what he is today. So with that being said, you know, with these fighters hovering around 135, these talented fighters, hovering around 135, 130, you know, guys like, you know, Shakur Foster, like I mentioned, going to go up to 135. He's big enough to go to 130.
There's still one major hurdle standing in the way. But when you watch these fighters in action, it's clear that under normal circumstances, neither is expected to lose their skill levels, demand near-perfect performances from any opponent. With that tension building, Devin Haney quickly fired back at Stevenson's comment, and Shakur responded immediately, showcasing just how competitive elite fighters are. He's neither willing to back down or let the other control the narrative. Earlier, fans had even floated the idea of a modern Four Kings era, naming Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia, Tio Lopez, and Gervonta Davis as the new generation, drawing comparisons to the legendary group of Marvin Hagler, Thomas Hearns, Sugar Ray Leonard, and Roberto Duran.
That even remotely sparks my interest for Shakur Stevenson is this guy right here, Devin Haney. Look at them, they're the same size. Obviously, Devin's moved up to 147. Shakur demands a catch weight. We'll see if Devin goes for the bait, because I think Shakur Stevenson, there's no doubt about it, he has the skills to compete at 147 to be 5 weight division champion. I feel like that.
And that wraps up today's video. Make sure to stay tuned for more updates, and we'll see you in the next one.